Let me ask you this. When was the last time you found yourself needing to boost your monthly casket sales? Well, if it's been recent, like now, then you better stay tuned because I've got just the tip to resurrect those sales above ground. Hello all, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sound Advice by Glen. I'm your host, Glen Ritchalds. Here, I take calls from people needing sound advice, something I, as an HR associate at a large synthetic rubber company, carry a hefty load of self-deemed sufficient wisdom in. Yet, as I'm likely forced to disclaim, I'm not a licensed therapist or counselor, though make that not a burden to your weary, sound advice-seeking soul. If all it took was a piece of paper to legitimize one's abilities, I think print shops would still be thriving. And let us not forget to take a moment to give a quick proverbial tip of the hat to the man behind the scenes running all the equipment and taking your calls. A one Mr. Douglas Courtwright. He sure is an audiovisual guru. What's that? Oh, yes, that's right. Douglas has insisted I request that all of you kindly subscribe to the channel and like this video. Apparently, that really helps in getting these videos to more people, which I'm sure you'd all agree would be a great thing in increasing sound advice consumption. All right, with all that addressed, Douglas, do we have anyone on the line? Great, looks like we do. Hello, thanks for calling Sound Advice by Glen. Who do we have on the line this afternoon?
Yes, hello. My name is Gerald Kirby.
Hello there. Was it Gerald?
It's pronounced Gerald.
I'm still hearing Gerald. So, Gerald, how might I bestow upon thee sound advice this day?
Okay. So I sell caskets for a living.
Oh, shall I assume then that your current need for sound advice is in some way associated with your line of work?
Well, actually, yes.
Bingo!
Yeah, so I got in this line of work because my grandma was the founder and owner of Kirby Caskets.
Okay.
When I was a boy, I'd worked there during the summer months to make enough money to buy toy dinosaurs to play with.
All right.
And once I was out of school for good, that final summer job turned into a career.
Okay.
But then Grandma got sick, and on her deathbed, she requested that I keep the family business running.
Sounds like a rough time.
Yeah, well, Grandma passed, and I inherited Kirby's Caskets.
Well, I'm not much of a real estate mogul, though I do dabble in online forums. I'd recommend getting this musty old business off your hands by means of engaging with a local real estate agent. I'm sure there are plenty of business owners out there who are actually savvy and would be eager to pay top dollar for this business space. I think this would be off your hands in no time.
Oh, no, that won't work at all.
I'm sorry?
No, I could never betray Grandma that way. After all, it was her dying wish that I keep the business running, and I'm determined to do just that.
Wow, okay. She must have been quite the casket proponent.
Well, yes. Just to put it in perspective, she actually demanded that her deathbed be a Kirby casket.
Oh, really? So you're telling me she chose to lay in a casket instead of a bed for her final days?
Yes, she had been selling them for so long that she felt it would be a pity to not actually get to enjoy being in one before passing on.
Well, I guess that makes some sense.
Yeah, and it made it really easy once she passed. We just closed the casket and that was basically it.
Okay then. Well, if you are determined to keep this business and selling is not something you're considering,
Certainly not.
where then might I be able to speak some sound advice into your life this afternoon?
Ever since Grandma passed, casket sales have seen a real decline.
Nah, okay. So not much of a salesman then, huh?
I just don't have the charisma Grandma did. So when people come in to buy a casket for a recently passed loved one, they usually are just there to buy our cheapest option.
Makes sense.
Well, I don't know. I think if they were buying a casket for themselves, they pay a lot more money. But when it comes to buying for their loved one, well, they seem to want to dip into as little of the inheritance as possible. You know, getting real stingy.
Well, I guess that could be the case.
Oh, I'm almost certain of it. I just need to be able to get people interested in buying caskets for themselves before they pass on, you know?
Well, Gerald, I think you're going to have a hard time convincing people to take time out of their busy lives to buy a casket. After all, it forces them to confront the fact that they will one day indeed die. People don't like to think about that.
Okay, but I'm just getting really desperate here. I can't keep the business above ground with these stingy family members only buying our plywood model.
Maybe you should eliminate that model from your line of offerings. That'll keep them from being so stingy, as you say.
Are you kidding me? And get rid of our best seller? I just have to figure out a way to get people to buy their own caskets in advance of their death. The family business is just depending on it.
Okay. I think I've heard just about enough. And I'm going to be straight with you, Gerald. You've got yourself a tough situation.
Yes, I surely do.
But I've got just a solution to remedy your casket crisis.
Alrighty then.
So if the primary goal is to get people to buy caskets for themselves before they die,
Here's the sole goal.
you're going to want to sweeten the pot by making the caskets multifunctioned.
Oh, okay.
You see, people want to get the most use out of something they buy, especially when it's a big purchase.
Right.
So you're going to need to modify your caskets to serve at least one additional function, other than underground corpse storage, for people to see the value.
Okay, like what?
Well, the obvious choice here is storage bins.
Storage bins?
Yes, indeed. And as you may know, Gerald, the average person's garage is just loaded with storage bins. So I'm confident that if you could promote caskets as the perfect storage solution for people's miscellaneous belongings, it would really go a long way in making those sales climb.
Well, I could maybe see how that might work.
It's pretty clear cut.
Though one issue with that approach does come to mind.
Oh, and what might that be?
Well, I'm just concerned that people might find it too hard to access their stored items from the caskets, because most of the storage bins I've seen have been stored up high, and the caskets are pretty heavy. I am afraid that people are going to need to enlist the help of up to 6 pallbearers each time they need to get their stored items.
All right. So if storage bins aren't the answer, we're going to need to cater to making these caskets useful outside of the home.
Oh, yeah, okay, I could see how that
okay. So you're going to want to slightly modify the shape of the casket to be more hydrodynamic.
Hydrodynamic?
What you're going for here is something akin to the shape of a kayak. That way, the more sportier of individuals could have a lot of fun with their casket before it's time to be laid to rest.
Oh my.
You could be the first one to sell the casket kayak. And don't you fret. I'll let you have full control of the patent you submit for this divine invention of my thinking. You could call it the Kirby Casket Kayak. How fun!
I don't know.
And as an added selling point, you could pitch the concept that in the unfortunate event that things didn't go so well during the kayaking excursion, well, at least they would get a proper burial at sea.
I don't know if I want to get involved in the nautical side of the business.
Well, geez, Gerald. While it's true that my mind is a chasm brimming with sound advice knowledge, I have to admit that the majority of it is in no way regarding the uptick of casket sales. So you're going to need to be a little more open-minded with me here on these ideas. Not that I haven't been serving up gold bricks on gold platters.
Well, I do appreciate these ideas, I think, but I'm just not sure about...
Here we go. I've got it.
Okay.
So, Gerald, you're obviously only still in business for one reason, and that is that everyone needs to die. If it weren't for that simple fact, I don't think you'd have a prayer.
Right.
Which is why we need to combine this essential need with yet another essential need.
Okay.
And, Gerald, what is it that everyone needs to do aside from die?
Breathe?
Sit, Gerald, sit. Everyone needs to sit.
Oh, well, okay.
With this being a fact, you're going to find yourself best capitalizing on designing a casket that can also turn into a couch. Or, maybe better stated, a couch that can turn into a casket. And, as you've likely already wondered, yes, this would be just like a hide-a-bed.
Right.
But instead of a couch that hides the object of mere nightly sleep, you'd instead be selling a couch that hides the object for the final sleep.
Well, I guess that's a thought.
And it works real simple, Gerald. After the long amount of years they've spent sitting comfortably upon this couch, on that fateful day when death comes a-callin', the couch will simply and quickly be converted to a casket.
Alright.
From there, it'll be hurriedly hauled off to the final resting place with no fuss. Just as simple as prepping for an unannounced sleepover.
Well, yeah, okay. As much as I'm not overly eager to be transitioning from casket sales to casket sales with a couch emphasis, I could see how this take on it could potentially boost sales.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, Gerald, you can't have it all. And trust me, couches are gonna sell faster than caskets any day.
Okay, Okay, but what about the rest of the family who the deceased has left behind? Where are they gonna sit once their couch has been buried? Are they just expected to stand around? 'Cause that's not very...
Well, Gerald, I just want to thank you so much for calling in today and fully intaking my sound advice. Just like the kayak casket, you are welcome to take the full patent ownership of the hide-a-casket. Because, and as my audience knows well, I'm just that kind of guy. Well, that's all I've got time for today, friends. Thanks again for stopping by and taking in some sound advice a la Glen. Remember, please be sure to like this video if you found it helpful, and make sure you subscribe in order to be kept up to date on all my latest videos. Let me know in the comments section if you found this advice as helpful as Gerald did. Until next time, I'm Glen Ritchalds. Bye-bye.